Hey Patron, once again in alternate playbooks, taking a look at a formation that has been pretty OP online. It's been spammed a lot over the last few years in Madden, and it's a competitive formation. I'm looking at this particular formation, which essentially is the Trey offset is a formation, and basically it's the gun Trey offset. Let's just go ahead and find it again. You've got basically three receivers off to the left. You've got your tight end and your running back. Your audibles are going to be stick. And this is one of the more unique stick plays out there that you've got at halfback angle. I might leave this in is something in a scheme, but I don't like a lot of the route developments. So I'm going to swap this out for probably one of the best meta plays that has been getting used online, quick snap plays, and it forces your opponent to defend that unique sail concept off to the left. We're going to build off of that. Inside zone, always good to have that, but you could swap out multiple different running plays in this scheme. Inside zone, actually a better version of inside zone is read option. Because if you do play against someone that really knows what they're doing on defense, they're not going to try to give up the option with the quarterback. So you'll be able to go ahead and abuse them with a run game because you'll get an extra blocker with the read option. The RPO alert wide receiver screen, pretty much the same type of a thing. They also have a halfback counter here, which is actually kind of nice. And another play, which could be a good play that you could use out of the huddle, is the RPO buck alert screen. I see some competitive Madden players that have spammed this buck screen, this basically buck sweep play, and get really good running plays. So we're going to go and play with it. I haven't ran the buck run in a while, so I don't know how well I'm going to read the blocks and stuff like that. Let's just go ahead and take a look. Vertical drags, wide drags is a good play. It's got a nice little crosser, but you can either use the play action post shot, but the play I would prefer to use is this play, which is going to be dagger. It's going to give me the same concept of verticals. I'm going to have the underneath route. I've got a nice crosser route, but I've also got a built-in in route with basically a streak, which is dagger concept that I can build off of if I want to. So that's nice to have in my back pocket. So I'm going to swap out, stick with lever sails, verticals with the dagger. Now the RPO alert bubble, that's obviously a redundant play when it comes to a passing play. So I'll either do one of the two different things. I'm going to use the double Y in cop, or another play that I really like is this play, which is going to be the tight end in. I'm going to show this to you with the tight end in, and then I'll jump into some of these other plays. But let's just go and take a look at the RPO buck alert, and then we're just going to run from there. I'm just going to get some random nickel defenses and just see how this running works. So you can see right here the running's pretty good. I don't really have an outrageously fast running back against this defense, but it's a good way to get nice little running lane off against your opponent. So you can see the blocking really holds for a long time, and if you got good stick, this is a pretty good running play. So I might actually have to try to incorporate this particular play into my schemes more often, because it seems like it's a really good running play. And then look at that blocking. This seal blocking is phenomenal. And then all you have to do is that if you anticipate your opponent is going to try to anticipate the run off to the left, you can go to an inside zone off to the other side, the opposite direction. So that's what's nice to have this in your back pocket. So let's just go ahead and see if we can get some pretty good blocking. Nice hole right there with the inside zone. Now I'm going to back up the ball a little bit. I want to make sure that I respot the ball so we got some room to work with. We're going to respot, and we're going to take the ball and actually take the ball and put it off here on the right side. And let's call another play as far as a pass play. This is a simple concept. This is what I like to use, and I use this online all the time, and it really does force. I get nice completions. So we're going to use a double in a Y cop as our play, random nickels, and this is how I like to run it. I like to go and take my inside slot receiver Kirk and put him on a slant. I'm going to take Green and essentially go ahead and put him on a smoke route. And the first person I'm going to go ahead and read is this inside slant receiver right here, because those two different routes on the back side will actually go ahead and clear that out. So I'm going to run it like this. Watch the guy down. And what happens is he gets cleared out, and I can get an easy completion right there. And that's what's great about this. It's a nice play. The problem with this play concept is that it can get usered away. So a guy can actually user it away, and then as a result, you can get picked off if he comes down and jumps that route. Now, we also have another passing concept on the opposite side, on the inside. We've got Green on a smoke route and Hopkins on a deep corner route, and all you have to do is just basically look high-low with the smoke, and that's going to give you a read on whether that corner is going to be wide open, because you're usually going to have deep blues above it. So this is all I'm looking at. I'm looking at these guys right here. I'm watching this guy. I probably don't want to throw that, but I'm going to look at this defender right here. See how he comes down and plays it? That means it's man coverage. So I know that 9 out of 10 times, if I get the right leverage, this corner route is going to be wide open for an easy completion. So that's what's cool about this particular play, is that it just gives you some easy completions that you can pop. Now, let's go ahead and build off of that. We also do have a double move by the tight end, which he will get into like a sweet area of the zone. So if your opponent comes down and plays that slant route, you might be able to go and hit him. Let's see if we can get this back to right here. So you got this set up. You might be able to hit him on that little route right there and actually get a big completion. So that's another route that you can hit. It's a little bit flatter. When he comes cutting back in, he's flat, so it's not like he's going to get a lot of depth with that. So level sail, you run this thing stock. Basically, you're going to look high-low. You're going to look to the running back first, hit that, and then pop. Just go ahead and pop that guy. Corner route by the tight end is available to you too. I'm sure that you guys have seen this before, but basically you can just pop that in the corner route, and then you've got the levels coming across, and this is the best levels play out there, because you've got the two bracketed wide receivers, the one of the far inside and the far outside. They have enough spacing so they're not running on routes on top of each other, and then you have the one guy over the top that you can hit. So you probably, if you anticipate those guys carrying, you just go ahead to go to the next read. So let me just show you why I hesitated a little bit. I didn't throw the ball. I was actually looking for the inside guy initially, but the defender floated down my route. So I'm looking right here. I'm watching this guy. See how this guy actually comes down and plays into my passing rate? Okay, so now I've got to pass it off. I could go back to this guy, but I've got this guy at a higher level. So I'm just going to wait a second. You see how this guy actually comes down and carries with him? He's wide open. These guys are 10 yards out of the way. So I'm just going to go and hit the guy up top for an easy completion. Now, granted, if you got a guy you're running against an opponent that has a really good user, he could essentially almost take that away. All right, so let's take a look at Dagger. Dagger essentially is the same as the other play, but you've got this nice little passing concept where you've got basically underneath that you can hit, but you've got the crosser that people have been living and dying by online right there. So number one wide receiver, you can actually go ahead and hit him and hit him with that, with Dagger. So we're going to go back to that again. Now you've got this crosser right. Oh God, I almost threw right into a defender right there. So that was just a bad read. So with Dagger, you've also got basically the underneath route by the tight end. So if that zone clears out, you've got your opponent chasing two different areas. So he's chasing the tight end, and then he's also chasing basically your crosser too. So that's what makes this particular play interesting. And I'm waiting for the in route to clear, but it's not actually working for me. Here's a concept I like to use with verticals. Is I'll take my far screen wide receiver and I'll put him in a deep comeback route, and essentially that'll give me a fast, easy read to see if I can hit a deep comeback route. So you can see right here, the defender had to come down and play it flat. I didn't get rid of the ball quick enough, but that deep comeback route was wide open. So let's just go ahead, run this again, and you can see how you can actually hit that. Another concept too, if you really want to play around with your opponent's head, is you can go ahead and use Dagger. You can put a whip route underneath that, maybe a streak or a delay fade off to the side, and you could play the whip, and you've got basically the in route that you can hit. So I'm getting some block sheds right now against this porous line. Let's see if we can get this again. Let's see here. Do the whip. Nobody in the whip. I can pop my opponent real quick with a whip. And let's go back to this again. Back to the whip. And what that does is it opens up the deep route too with the whip coming down too. So that's what makes this particular scheme great, because it just causes so many matchup issues. Now here's the last play that I actually want to throw in. This is a play I used to run a couple of years ago down in the red zone when I needed a touchdown. Used to get like these high jump animations with your wide receivers. I remember playing Madden Ultimate Team, and I had, I think, Michael Irvin is my wide receiver, and I caught so many touchdowns using this play down in the red zone. I don't know how effective it is now, but still works effectively. It's tight end in, and it's really one fast adjustment. All you're going to do is you're going to take your outside receiver green and put him on a slant route. Now, what's going to happen is 9 out of 10 times, depending on the coverages, that slant route is going to get completely cleared out. So let's just go and take a look at this. If you got off coverage, a lot of times what's going to happen is this zone is going to this streak is going to clear this out. I've got this wide receiver clearing out the inside zones, and then I've got basically a clear passing lane for the slant. So it's a streak slant concept. I've used this for years on Madden, and it's easy to get an easy completion. Sometimes you can rack it into more yards, but right here I can complete this and just run for 10 or 15 yards right there. So what's cool about that is that you've got that fast play that you can jump into. And if you run into a situation where, okay, so I actually was in the wrong offense. If you run into a situation where the defenders are playing that lane, you could potentially hit them up top. So watch this right here. Defender's not there. I'm just going to go and keep popping that right there in that zone. Now, this play also comes with a nice unique route too, which is the running back route on the back end side. So previously we showed a table route to my opponent. Now I've got this route that in a zone coverage, it's just like a quick hitter in the flat. So you can use this as a nice base play to use down in maybe a third and short type situation where you just need a fast completion, and he's not going to allow your opponent to hit you underneath. Okay, here you go. So let me show you what I saw and how I was able to go and hit that seam against my opponent. Here we go. So watch this guy right here. See how he presses, and then he's got his position. He's a little bit weird. This guy's completely off, and there's just a big zone right in the middle of the lane. So if I try to throw this guy's probably going to be in the area or not. So I think I got rid of the ball already. But you could see this defender, because he was pressing, he got himself out of position. This guy's in nowhere's land. There is nobody falling back in this passing lane. I can hit this lane real quick for a big completion with an inside pass lead. I could have went back to this guy right here, and then I have, if it's a man coverage, I've got this guy coming across the backside too. So that's what I like about it. So once again, we're going to set this up, and if we don't get man, okay, here you go. So you've got, okay, so I missed the running back. The running back was wide open. Now I was looking at him. I assumed it was man, and I didn't hit that correctly. I literally jumped into this play just recently. But look at this like little fast mini wheel route that you get easy inside positioning with, that you can use with this play. I was like, okay, maybe this play is a little bit redundant. I don't want to have it in the scheme, but it's got these unique routes that will just catch your opponent off guard. And if he wants to try to defend, levels, he's going to have a hard time doing that, because you're going to have essentially, complementing route with that. And then on the back side, if you actually leave this particular concept, you've got the deep corner on the back side that he has to defend with your number one wide receiver, and that's going to be very difficult for him to defend all that stuff. So this hits both sides of the field. It doesn't matter which hashes you're on. You do this. You throw in your run plays, and this is a really good scheme to go and run. So if you're using run balanced, I would definitely jump into this scheme. This is just something that just looking at these plays, I know I can effectively move the ball down the field with these plays and get into red zone territory with this. So once again, thanks for your support, guys. I'll try to roll out some more stuff for you. I do want to let you know that I know some of you guys have been really asking me to do write-ups. The write-ups they do take me more time than it does take me to record it. Literally doing a write-up takes me 4 times as much time just from the typing, pulling pictures, and all that kind of stuff than actually just recording a quick video for you. So if you need me to do write-ups, I will. It just takes a long time. So once again, guys, thank you for your support.